Welcome to Geeknson's How Does It Fit, where we master the art of taming table-hogging games. My name is Michael and I'll be your host. Today we have a great treat for you. A game so grand, so massive, it takes several sessions to complete a single playthrough. Games like this are the reason why gaming tables exist. Europa Universalis, the price of power, with the Fate of Empires expansions, which brings the player count up to 6 players. We'd like to thank Aegir Games for supplying this game for us, so we can show you how it fits on one of our tables. To tame that game, we'll have to roll out the big guns, because only the grandest of tables will match this game's epic scale and hunger for space. Also, for another challenge, we need to fit the game inside the gaming vault, because this game, I guarantee you, is going to be played over several sessions and will need to be paused. To accommodate this game, we've brought Megan Crown. Despite it being the largest Megan table we've ever created, this game will push this table to its very limits. So, let's see, how does Europa Universalis, the price of power, fit? It is time to release the beast. The beast is out. Now let's tame that game. So, as you often do, we will start with the main game board. So we'll start with Western Europe map, and we'll give it put it like here. Okay. Followed by Eastern Europe map. Let's check the proper side. Okay. Make sure it matches. And finally, the distant continents board. So let's center it, and we can already see the map itself took almost most of the space already. Just started. Next, we will need to seat the players around the board. So let's get to it. So as you can see, each player has their own player mat, army mat, and component tray. So we'll also, you can already see how much space does it take, and we're not even halfway done. We will have to move it a little bit to move enough room for those opposing players to have enough room to tuck under their ruler or advisor, under their player mat. To do that, we will slightly tuck it down under the game board, because it doesn't affect you at all and gives us this much needed space. Next is the status board, which is or status mat. It is very important, but unfortunately we still need to sideline it a little bit to make room for other more important things. So we will place it right here, move the player here. Next up, the event deck, which every player needs to have access to it, so it's very important that everyone can see it. We will set it up right here. First 3 cards drawn openly, and the next 4 closed. After that, the milestones. Milestones are public scoring objectives, which are also very important for every person to be able to see. Okay, and we will reveal 1 of each. We need to make some room for the idea display offer. So we'll move this tighter here. So we have like 3 types of ideas: military ideas, administrative ideas, and diplomatic ideas. and we need to set it in the grid with 3 cards revealed from each deck. So as you can see, we are already pressed for space and we are quickly running out, and there's still much to do. We have main 3 decks, so we'll place them like right here. So military deck, administrative deck, and diplomacy deck. Finally, we have the trade deck, which we'll place next to the distant continents, but you can also trade from within the Europe, but that it's a fitting place for it, I think. Now we will start with a setup of each player, because we also have to place all the components, fill all the components on the player mats, and give all the players their relevant mission decks. Here we are. As you can see, we were able to fit the Europa Universalis inside the table. Sure, we have still some things around like dice and components, but every player who played this game will tell you that the best place for money bank is on the logo of the game. Same goes for other components which are perfect. I mean, the North Sea is perfect for them, so they will feel right at home if we place them right here. We also have the dice but we have something to do about it, and the rule books, which are plentiful. But even still, looking at this board game state as it is, many players who play this game can already tell this is one of the better setups they've seen for this game. But still, there is room for improvement. Let's check it out. A handful of dice, and you know that you will roll them. And with a game like this, you don't want to roll on top of the main board. It's too busy, it's too easy to move things around, which you want to avoid at all costs. So here comes the triangle counter holder, which is very handy because it can be attached to the internal card rail. It already helps you utilize the table corners, which is perfect for not only your dice, but can also work as a dice tray. Whenever you need to throw rebel dice or combat, here we go. As mentioned before, this game has a lot of rule books, and even an experienced player will have to reference them all the time. Me, myself, having played this game several times, I still need to check minor details here and there. So you will as well. So what you do with all of this, all of these rules? So if this was a regular table, you just keep them somewhere. But thankfully, our gaming tables are not one-trick ponies that have only gaming vault going for them. We also have the external accessory rail, which help you expand the game outside of the gaming area. And here we have a perfect accessory called Gym Station, which will be very handy for this application as well. So, first of all, you have a shelf for all your rule books, which you will need to have either way. Or you can open it, and here you go. You can use those that you need the most, just place them like here. Maybe, peace resolution, battle resolution, and rules and stuff, just like that, at your fingertips. As we saw earlier, components, I mean like various game markers and such, on the game board is not like an ideal solution, not comfortable one. Thanks to our external accessory rail, still we can move them outside of the table. Let's do that. You notice those metal cups, which are actually part of our cup holders and also wine glass holders. So larger and smaller cups alike. Thanks to this, we have freed the space of the table. We've already improved the setup a lot, but it still feels cramped. It still feels full, the gaming vault. And the largest perpetrator or thing we could do to improve is to remove those component trays. Although they are very useful and neat, they take a lot of space and components inside them aren't needed as often as you think. So what we can do, we can move them away, out of the table, which will free a lot of space for us. Let's try that. Here we have the component tray we spoke about, and here we have our counter holders with a recessed groove for easier component picking. So we can simply move all the tokens that we need here, and excess city markers, they can come here as well. And this tray can wait for us in the box. Still, if you wish to keep your trays with you, well, there is a solution for that. This small metal shelf, which we can also attach to the rail and place your tray right here. At this point, we could call it a day and start playing. But there is one more trick I want to show you. The last thing I want to improve with this setup is this area here. The events, milestones and idea cards. Where you are sitting right now, I can bet you are not able to read, or you don't even know what's in here. And that's a problem, because to check this out, and you have to check it out because it's important for the game, you have to stand up, walk around the table and read the cards, which takes time. And for a game as long as this one, every bit of time is precious. So I will show you how we can solve this common issue. Introducing the cat leaf, a very special upholstered tabletop leaf, which is very similar to our playing surface Pro Inset, which is very nice to touch and can be used to place some components on them. However, unlike the Inset, which we already saw plenty of, this one floats above the playing field and can be slid each direction. So now let's place some components on it and see how it changes the game. As you can see, we've placed all the important stuff on top of the cat leaf, and now when you need to check it out, I can just slide it over to you. Here you go, buddy. It's time to pause the game. So what you can do, you can just take all the components from the rail, put them in their bags or in the box or inside the table if you have to. The best moment to pause the game is between eras, because there is less things to save. And once you're done, just cover it with tabletop leaves, like that. The game is now safely stored inside, waiting for another go. And I hope during this video I was able to show you how much gaming table like Megan improves your gaming experience, especially for a game like Europa Universalis. Have you ever played Europa Universalis? Have you ever dreamt about having a gaming table afterwards? Please leave your experiences in comments, we'd love to know them. Once again, I'd like to thank Aegir Games for supplying this fabulous game. If you are a fan of grand strategy games or played computer variant, I cannot recommend this game more wholeheartedly. It's just great, just try it out. But it takes a lot of time. If you like what we do and would like to see more of that, please leave a like and subscribe. And remember, keep your games tight with Geeknson's mind.